There we go. Let's see here. We're waiting for him. There we go. Hello!
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
We can't have peanut butter without the jelly. Of course, we got Miss Nora with our brother, Mr. Juan.
What's up, Nora? How you doing?
How are you doing, guys?
You guys are like
so excited.
You know, in America, we call it a power couple. A power couple.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
En español no sé la palabra. Power couple.
Oh, pues no sabría I don't know how can I translate this power couple. I don't know, but that's fine. How are you doing, guys? I'm so excited to talk with you.
Yes. First of all, how are you guys doing during this quarantine? So you guys live in Madrid, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about how this COVID-19 is affecting you guys personally, and also your country and your city. What's going on in Madrid right now?
Well, personality is complicated because you can't go outside, but only to go to the supermarket or to go with your dog, one block only, you know? But no sport, no nothing. No fast food restaurants is closed.
Wow.
Everything is closed.
The lockdown here is very, very hard. It's similar like in Italy, you know, very extreme. If you want to go out, you can be, how do you say, penalty by the police, and you can go to the jail.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard.
Really hard.
That's super crazy. It's crazy to hear that, man, because like as bad as it is over here in California, like, you know, In-N-Out is still open. You know, they have different fast food that's still open. A lot of stuff is still open. They're not as strict over here, which is interesting, you know. But in general, so Spain, what are they saying? Do you guys have any idea of when you guys can go back to work?
We don't know because every time is like 15 days more, rescheduling
all the time.
It's complicated to know.
Now government say that, for example, in the lockdown is during hasta abril, no? To April, finales de abril or May?
To the 10th of May.
10th of May.
Wow.
So you know it's too
much
time.
But with the strange things, because now the government say that the kids can go out at 27th of April.
Okay.
It's strange because only kids, but
it's really weird, you know.
Else. But the sanity department is more like in this direction.
Yeah.
For the quarantine in this way.
Okay. How are the tattoo artists? How's the family over there? I always say family because tattoo artists is one big family. How is everybody doing in Spain? All the artists, like, what are they saying? Are you in communication with some of our friends, your friends in Spain? And how is everybody? How is the tattoo artist community feeling in Spain right now?
It's difficult.
I think that we are a little bit. In our case, not that in the community here in Spain about tattoo, I think they are a little bit worried about the situation because you know, it's a little bit complicated because here in Spain we suffer this shit like Italy, you know, very hard. It's not, for example, like France. It's not, for example, like UK. It's very different, you know, the situation, because here in Spain and Italy we pretty close, you know. So I think it's so hard here, the COVID. But in our case, we think we are, how do you say, we hope that everything changes in a good way. So we have to be patient, you know, because I know it's normal. It's normal that our community are a little bit worried about the situation, but I think not to be nervous about that, not to be sad or depressed, because I think this is a strange situation, and I think in maybe in a short period we can do again, to do all the things, you know.
Yeah.
So
Back to
I don't want to transmit sadness or depress or,
yeah.
you know. I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright, you know.
You have time for to do all the things you can't do in the past, you know?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have time for to do everything we want, you know.
Yeah,
Here at home,
there's always positives in everything. So you guys, speaking of positives, you guys are doing more artwork. I see some of your drawings.
Man.
I love your newest pencil drawing. Juan, talk about that piece. What's the name of the piece? The newest one.
The name is Forever.
Forever.
It's Forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's this in this piece like 2 years ago, but I never have time for to do. And when I start this quarantine, I think this is the moment for to do. And when I finish, like 3-4 days ago, I don't remember. I think, oh, it's the moment is curious because not this normal. When you do this, not thinking all the means you can do, you know.
Yeah.
And it's curious that when you finish this thing, this is the situation, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a message of hope or of faith.
Yeah.
Because the people now is very worried about everything, and I think it's important to go to all the houses, all the places, because everybody is alone, but not need to feel alone, you know.
Yeah. They have a
It's
choice.
like, yeah.
They have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, I like that piece. That's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. And what's cool, what's interesting about what you said is each time an artist completes a piece of artwork, it's usually a moment of time. It's usually it's usually reflective of what's going on in the world. So how is this new Jesus piece reflective of what's going on in this world? I like it. You got all these characters around the table. Explain more the meaning behind the piece. And maybe we could. Do you have the piece to maybe show the audience? I know a lot of people here, like Bob's brother Phil. He says you're fucking awesome at drawing. They want to talk about the artwork.
No sé todo.
Do you have the original with you right now?
¿Dónde está?
No, it's in the printer business.
Oh.
I sent
printer company.
I sent the original, and in these days I think it's done the prints.
Yeah, it's a good piece. I love it, man. It's very fun to look at.
I only have the copy here.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna find.
I have a little copy here, but I can show us. This here.
So that's called Forever.
Yeah.
Para siempre.
Yeah, because
Here, I'll pull it up over here.
yeah.
Very cool, man.
But it's curious because Jesus is with ¿cómo se dice? T-shirt, la camiseta de tirantes.
With a tank top.
Tank top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like it reminds me of who Jesus is. Like he, you know, when he was here on earth, he was hanging out with everybody. He was actually hanging out with like the ones that nobody else wanted to hang out with. Is that kind of what you see in this piece? Like he's our friend, his message of hope. It belongs to everyone. It's not just for the upper class or for the rich people. That's why I like Jesus most out of everybody, because he came down here to just chill with the lowest of them all. He didn't care. He actually wanted to give them the message.
It's a message for everybody, because the time do the same for everybody. No only poor people, rich people, medium, you know?
Yeah.
We have
everyone the same.
Yeah.
Same level,
because
you know?
we are all the same, you know.
Yep.
We are the same. Nowadays, we have to be connected. We have to be, you know, to keep connected, to keep, how do you say, to help each other. You know, I think that this artwork represents the life and to be alive. You know what I mean?
But it's curious. 2 years thinking in this, and now is the moment for to do for to share. You know, it's curious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even with this whole quarantine and everything going on and being locked down, I mean, some of the things that you've been facing of recent, I mean, this starts as early as this year when you were trying to come out to Golden State.
Oh, wow.
Was fucking complicated. Was fucking complicated.
Guys, 1 second. When I was in the plane to reach Los Angeles, I say to Juan, I have a very strange feeling. I don't like this. And Juan say, why? What's going on, Nora? What's going on? I say, I don't like it. This year, I think it's gonna be very different in the bad way. I don't like it. Juan, I'm very worried. So we was in jail.
Oh man.
Yeah, like 8 hours in the line waiting.
8 hours in the motherfucking line in the
police
customs.
Caught us and say, you are from Madrid, right? Yeah.
And they, come on, guys, come on.
And go to the inside room, and in the inside room, like 5 hours
only down. Chinese and Spanish.
And the police inspector told me, you are Juan Sanchez. No, I'm Juan Martin Sanchez. No, you are Juan Sanchez. You go to Golden State with Chuy Quintanar. No, with my phone.
No way.
With the phone of the police, you know.
Wow.
The faces, sometimes the people recognize this.
It's
not good.
So you flew out, just so people hear you correctly, man. You flew out all the way from Spain to LA, and they put you in the airport jail and sent you guys back home. Man, that's unfair.
What's a nightmare? The experience. I prefer not to talk about this motherfucking shit because what's a motherfucking nightmare? Nobody knows that we suffer.
Well, you know what? I'm sure that'll never happen again. We got to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah.
What? Let me ask you this really quick. We got some questions about your drawings also, Juan. What kind of pencils do you use? What kind of paper do you prefer to draw on?
Stadler? I use Stadler.
Like Bristol board?
The regular Stadler and Berjurado, ¿cómo se dice?
Berjurado is like a Fabriano paper.
Fabriano paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pens are
medium, no?
Faber-Castell and Stadler. Since most hard to more bond, more soft.
Okay.
6B, 4B to 6H.
Okay.
But sometimes no use this part, the finger for the shading.
No,
use the more pressure and less painting is the most H.
I like
this
that
is
style.
for to shading.
Yeah, I like that style because you have to earn it. You can't. You know, I still call it cheating when you use your finger. You know, you gotta.
Blending stuff.
Yeah. So what about so tell us a little bit about your style and some of your influences. You come from Spain. I remember going to Spain for the first time back in I think 2008 with Esteban, Oriol, and OG Abel and Lexi. And we went out to DYD Lowrider, you know, for this festival. yeah. And that was a fun time. That was my first time in Spain. I went to Barcelona, and I loved the style, and I loved how a lot of the artists in Spain really appreciate the style in LA. Tell us a little bit about your influence and some of your favorite artists, tattoo artists or painters even.
Oof, a lot of people. But in my roots, when I start, I don't know nobody because not have internet, you know?
Yeah.
No internet,
when I started, the first tattoo artist I know was Mr. Cartoon.
Yeah.
And he put a lot of influence in my work.
Yeah.
And my mentor was Chuy Quintanar because when I discovered his work, I think, whoa, this is another level, right?
Right.
I need to learn singly. And Chuy tattooed me one time in Milano.
Yeah.
And I think, whoa, someday I need to do this. And every time I have a lot of influence of from Chewy.
Yeah.
For more tutorials, for a composition, for too many things, for too many, but
I think it's really funny because, for example, here in Madrid, around 10 years ago, people call him Lil Cartoon because he started, he started to do airbrushing.
Compliment,
because I started painting cars with 18 years old. My first airbrush I buy for to paint first attractions, you know,
with the gypsies, you know, in the gypsies attraction.
And later the painting cars, but like custom cars, you know.
Okay.
But with Europe cars, it's a strange thing, but it's true. And like 23 years old, I started doing, and you can't find nothing. Everything is for magazines, and my first machine was Mickey Sharp.
Yeah. How long ago did you start tattooing? How long ago? How many years have you been tattooing for?
I think like 13 years.
Okay. Good stuff, man. Now, you know, you took a style, you adapted a style, you know, this Chicano style that we love everywhere, all over the world. And you in a lot of ways, you brought that style back to Spain and made it real in a sense where you were able to travel to the Spanish conventions and in other parts of Europe and kind of show that style that you adapted. So I think that's pretty cool that, you know, you recognize that style early on and fell in love with it and was able to kind of give it a platform in Spain.
To give it a platform here?
Yeah. Like you were able to take it back to Spain and really show off, you know, the style a little bit more. And we love Chewy's work too. Chewy's got a cool style. I love how the composition you said is great, right? And the style is very clean. So and you got a back piece by Chewy, right?
Yeah.
You got a back piece, you got a head piece, bunch of pieces.
Yeah.
The hand too.
The hand too, yeah.
Yep, the hands.
But
that's good stuff.
Yeah. The head, but now it's growing up, my hair. This quarantine, quarantine times. You know?
Now you got to get a cartoon piece.
Yes.
Get a cartoon piece.
Yes. Always, but I never have the time for to do, but I want for sure.
Well, we appreciate you taking that black and gray style to Spain. That's the style we all love. That's how I started, and that's in our hearts. Black and gray all day.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about tattoos. Juan, we've got a couple people asking some questions. As far as the machine you use, as far as bishops, which one's your go-to? Also, we had a question asking about your drip system.
This is the real shit. This is the real motherfucking shit. You need this machine. If you want to do the best tattoos, you need this machine for sure. It's the Packer one. I work like with this machine like not a year, but less of a year. But you can do everything with this machine. And it's perfect for everything.
You even had the original version, the square version. Do you have that with you? With the magnetic cap?
The cap?
The magnet, remember the magnet one, the first version?
La primera versión.
My first version was the orange in the back part.
Yeah.
And the grip like not this totally curved.
Yeah.
Was different.
That was very few people have that machine, so you're a lucky man because not a lot of people have even seen that machine. But I've always appreciated and had love for you and Nora, so I had to get you that machine back. And I think I gave that to you like almost 2 years ago. That was a while ago. But so tell us about some of the other products you use. I know that our brother Chewy has a product. Tell us about Chewy's product, and kind of let's talk about that for a little bit.
Not
So, sorry again about Chewy's what?
The tack.
Ah,
Yeah.
tack. Yeah.
So
Works really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Nobody wants without tag. Everybody loves tag.
Yeah.
if you
If
guys
you
haven't
don't put tag, no tattoo.
if you guys haven't tried tack yet, what's the Instagram for tack?
Tack Science.
Tack Science.
Yeah.
Shout out Tack TAC Science.
Shout out to Chewy.
Good shout out to Chewy. It's a cool product to use while you're tattooing, and I know a lot of people when they get it on them for the tattoo, they don't want it without, right?
Yeah.
They want it.
Works really, really good. For example, in my case, first time when we try it myself with Juan try with me, and I say, oh man, this is motherfucking real. For example, I check it out. I try on my ribs in Los Angeles around 3 years ago, and I say 12 hours, you know, and I say, oh wow, works really, really good. I recommend for everyone.
If you remember, when I get my back piece with Chewy, in one of the sessions was without tack because Chewy don't have in this moment. Yeah, and I told Chewy, you are the boss of tack. This is not possible. And I feel without tack the tattoo is too old. You know, you can't feel close to this moment. You know, it's very important.
Tack Science, guys, go to your local distributor and pick up a jar of it. And shout out again to Chewy, our brother. I've known Chewy for many, 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 many years, 2 decades almost. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Where the tattoo world's come and where it's going. And let's talk about your drop system. How many caps do you use, and what's your style?
Caps, I use like 10 caps. The first cap is lining and shading on the top.
Okay.
The second is the super black.
Okay.
And the rest is like 9, 10 drops of black. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, and medium 1.
Okay.
And the rest is distilled water.
Nice.
Like 10.
And
10 difference, yeah.
So you've been using the nocturnal for a while too.
Yeah.
What do you like the difference between like the super black and the lining shading?
I prefer lining shading.
Yeah, it's more smooth.
Yeah, for the shading, yes. Only use the super black for big backgrounds in black, and not for too many things.
Yeah.
Because every time is one single needle, three super big boom. The rest is matte.
Yeah.
The super black is only for some backgrounds, to help the reading, the composition.
Shout out to Jack Rudy, my business partner with Nocturnal. A lot of people don't know that, you know. Jack.
Wow, I don't know this.
Yeah,
I don't know this. I know Jack Rudy when I was tattooing in my 1 year of experience in Milano, and Esteban too. Same year.
Yep. Well, what's cool about that is, like, you know, we all know who Jack Rudy is, and when I first started coming out with the recipe for Nocturnal, this was about, this was like 2011, 2012. Yeah. And I would always take it to Jack to try out, and he's very picky. Jack Rudy, you know, he's picky about his ink. He's picky about black and gray ink. And, you know, I said, Jack, I want this to become, you know, something that you like. And so after a couple of years, he fell in love with it. He loved the recipe. And then he wanted to get involved with the company. And we just became, you know, partners. So, you know, him and I both own Nocturnal. But it's to me, it's an honor to have that because we love Jack Rudy. To me
too.
He's a father of black and gray.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, but yeah, I'm glad you know that now. So Jack Rudy's my partner in Nocturnal, and together we really try to push the best black and gray products and also history. We want to do our part and make sure that everybody knows more about the history of tattooing in black and gray.
All the time, I was talking about this shit. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm really motherfucking sad.
Tell us why, girl. Tell us why.
This motherfucking shit. Because all the time, for example, cartoon now, because Netflix documentary, now everyone knows about cartoon. But this documentary, for example, had to be done 10 years ago, not now. You know what I mean? About Jack Rudy, the same. Nobody knows who is Jack Rudy. You know what I mean? I'm very sad about this shit because nowadays, Instagram tell to everyone that new stars of the Instagram are the, but now nobody knows about who is Jack Rudy, who is Chuy Quintanar.
Yeah.
Who is Mr. Cartoon? You know what is?
Or Freddy Negrete.
Or Freddy Negrete.
Yeah. You know what? I love your
Mark Mahoney.
Yep, Nora, I love your passion, and one of the things we're doing is we have been doing more production. So we recently filmed a little something on Gil Monty, right? Who Gil Monty is, right? And so a lot of my passion, we're going to start doing more documentaries. So you're going to start to see more Bishop documentaries where that we produce it and put it out there to the world. So we're going to be working on a lot more storytelling because I feel the same way you do, Nora, and it's a passion of mine to make sure people know who is who. It's okay to become a famous Instagram artist, but you got to know who's who. You got to know where it started from.
History.
Yeah. Because the history is the only reason why certain people are where they're at right now. So it's like, there's a lot of people that are famous. They forgot where they come from, or they never knew where they came from. It's a tragedy. I don't have any respect for people like that. It's like, wait a minute, you have 1 million followers, you're famous, but you don't know who Mark Mahoney or Tom Renshaw or Jack Rudy is. Like, no, you gotta find your foundation. The foundation exists. Anyone can find this information out if they research, right? Yeah. But again, that's what Bishop is. We want to do that. We want to be the platform that tells these stories as much as we can.
Keeps their legacy alive.
So keep a lookout for some of the projects we're going to be doing as soon as we get out of this quarantine.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your passion. Let's ask a couple questions.
Actually, I got a couple questions here as you were just talking about your drip system, because you get such smooth and buttery tones. What's your techniques? Do you have any tips for some people? Because they're asking about that. Like, how are you able to get such consistent tones in your pieces that you don't use any filters? You're always, and that's one thing, it's like, these are my pictures, that's the way it is. Like, and you're seeing tattoos from 5, 7, 9 years ago that would look badass today right now.
Yeah. It's the most important thing now. A bad tattoo or a bad picture, but if likes to all the people that didn't know, is perfect. It's a problem, and you can recognize a good tattoo, and the picture not is necessary is the best picture, but it's necessary about this work. If not, the people not understand nothing,
No, exactly. What needles do you use? What are the needle groupings you use right now?
I use these ones, like the Da Vinci needles.
Hey now,
right there.
We got all the new ones for you.
Between the one liner to 17 Mac.
Do you use flat or curved? Are you flat or curved?
Flat, old school.
Okay.
I like the flat. I don't like the curve. No.
Yeah. Do you use a flat to get your line work?
Like this?
Sometimes too? Yeah,
like
okay.
This.
Yep, okay.
And sometimes like this. Depends of the work. But if you want a curve, like this.
Yeah.
It's like a big pen,
Yeah, exactly. Very, very, like dagger strokes.
Like in this direction.
Yeah.
But too fast. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the problem. I can't do a tattoo soft like healed.
Yeah.
Everything is red, and I need to put the saturation low because I work like cartoon, like Chewy, like you. No, I can't work like this.
Yeah.
And sleep in the arms. I can't do this.
You bring action to it.
Yeah, I'm active person.
Yeah, no, you know what? Tattooing's a style, man. Everyone's got a style, a hand speed, an energy, That's the beautiful thing. There's so many ways to skin a cat. There's so many ways to do a portrait. That's why we like asking everybody the technical questions, because everyone has a different style that might speak to someone else. You know what I mean? So good stuff, man. Let's talk about the single needle for a little bit, okay? I appreciate people that do single needle. I mean, I started doing single needle 27 years ago. That's all I used for about 3 years. So I got really familiar with it. I still use it today in a lot of my work. What do you think about the single needle? What got you excited about it? And tell us how it helps you in your tattoos of today.
Oh, the single, only you have a good work healed in the past of the 10 or more years if you use single needle. If you don't use this needle, you can feel like, oh, with this 5, I can do this eye, for example, or I can cut this corner. But if you don't use the single, imagine this line is more fat than this. In the past of 10 or 20 years, on a small eye, you can lose. I think it's only you can do clean tattoos and forever if you work with single. But the people not not follow this. The people only follow the picture. With this picture, I can have everything, and not this way. The way is use the single for the corners, for everything.
To be patient.
So a lot of people, this is a good subject to talk about. A lot of people don't realize that in order for a tattoo to be a really good tattoo and for it to hold up, you have to wait a couple of years to see how it's settled, right? And so the problem with today, a lot of artists, like you said, they do things to look nice for Instagram, right? And they do things to look good temporarily, right? But they're not really using the techniques that will make the tattoo stay in the skin for 10, 15, 20 years, right? And so with the single needle, I've always found, like to what you're saying, is it forces you to pick away at the fine detail. And the single needle is very dangerous, right? It goes right in the skin. So a lot of times when you use a single needle, those dots and that shading is there to stay, right? But if you go too deep, it can blur out. But I would like to say, man, like having the ability to add single needle to your black and gray, for those that know, we know what's up. It's a great addition. It's a great trick. It's a great technical ability to be able to use that single needle for the pupils and different things. But you know what? A lot of people are afraid because it's not easy to use. It's like
if you don't know the direction, you can break the skin and nothing, only blood. It's too difficult. You can start like with your confidence or confianza, como se dice?
Confidence.
With your confidence, and in one moment clean and wow, everything is red and nothing, and the skin is break.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So I found that voltage and hand speed it's important for everything, but voltage and hand speed is so critical for single needle work. For example, if I'm using a packer, I'll use it at maybe like 5.5 volts, and I'll just pick away very carefully. What do you think about the voltage and hand speed as being?
I use like between 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
Always. Only put for whites at 7.4.
With the packer, right?
With the packer.
Yeah. Okay.
But only for this. For the rest is everything like 6.5 to 7.
Now, one of my favorite things about single needle is the ability to stipple certain areas where you don't want to overwork the skin. I think that's one of the cool things about single needle is when you're dealing with a part of the tattoo that might be overworked, you can deposit dots of ink that don't really damage the skin. What do you think about the ability to use the single for stippling?
Cool. To be patient, a lot of patience. Because if you want to do too fast, it's not good. You need have time to do like this space, like 1 centimeter, and take like half an hour or more, and only see this part, like a printer, only do this part and move the hand like flyer, you know.
Yeah.
But
There's
at the same time, you can't put. It's complicated because you need to put something too hard and something too soft.
yeah.
It's for this because you need move too fast and too slowly. It's complicated.
For a single needle, it is pretty complicated, and I actually understand why people don't want to use a single needle. I understand that because the single needle has more rules than any other needle.
Yeah.
The single needle, you have to be careful for the depth, the angle, the pressure.
Yeah.
Too little circles could rip the skin. How to properly. I mean, it's like there's so many rules with the single needle. But I always love giving paying homage to Freddie Negretti and Jack Rudy, for being the first pioneers that introduced a lot of the single needle that was going on in prison at the time. They were able to take that knowledge of the single needle system and put it into professional tattooing in the streets, but really to take it up a notch and start to use water and the drip system. And I mean, back then they weren't even using the drip system. They were using a cup of water with black, but they were able to start producing some of the first really nice single needle portrait work, which I fell in love with 27 years ago when I was looking at Freddie Negretti work up in San Gabriel. But yeah, single needle, man. If you guys, hopefully you guys are listening because we're giving away some goodies right here. This is all really good knowledge. Single needle, we highly suggest you give it a shot. But be careful. Be careful. Bite off a little piece at a time.
Actually, we got somebody asking who are those names again that you were mentioning about who are looking for inspiration for single needle artists? Who are some of those names again?
Oh, like Jack Rudy and Freddie Negretti.
Freddie Negretti.
Yeah, these are people that have introduced the single needle to us in the tattoo world many decades ago.
Yeah, I have one tattoo of Jack. This is from Jack Rudy.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. You know
he's like 6-7 years old.
You know he had that. Well, hey, you know, we're always trying to sneak in little lessons. And, you know, I think that anyone listening, you know, when you look at Juan Sanchez's work, you see lots of detail. You see the detail is in the detail. And a lot of times,
it's motherfucking detail.
Yeah. How long did that drawing take you? How many hours and years were you working on it for?
For example, in the Jesus in the city from the arm of Nora,
how many hours?
I spent like 18 hours. Yeah, but it was crazy. 18 hours to do.
I love it. That's a lot of detail. I've seen that piece in person. It's beautiful.
Man,
they really like
that Sacred Heart.
They really like it. Burn the lights, but
yeah. No, it's beautiful.
But I spent like only 2 hours for the pants and the belt.
Yeah. I bet.
Hey, Juan, we got somebody that's got a question. If you could only pick one liner and one magnum shade, which grouping would you go with? That was from Brian Ramirez, Big Boy. So if you could only pick one liner and one shader needle, what grouping would you pick?
¿Con cuál cogería? I don't know. I think only one lining and only one mag.
Yeah.
One of each. So you can. I'm guessing single needle, and then what would be your go-to if you could only use one mag? What would that be?
I don't know. Only backgrounds, maybe. For to do everything with the mag. You told me this?
No. I think if you could only have two needles, like in your station, in your setup, if you could only have two needles set up, and because you use flat mags.
No, I can't work like this. I use like 9 or 10 or 11 needles different.
Oh wow!
Sometimes, yeah, because for some works only I use 1, 3, 5, and 7 mag or 9 mag.
Okay.
But the normal setup is like 10 needles minimum.
Wow.
You're not playing around. You're going for it.
Huh?
Yes, you're not playing around, man. That's a lot. You have all the weapons are in your arsenal. Yep. That's really cool, man. Somebody asked a question. So Aruna B.H. Mendy, that's a hard one to pronounce, asked, how do you know the ink has settled well in the skin? So that's a big question. So like, as a black and gray artist, it's one thing to leave the customer with a nice piece, and it's another thing for them to show up at your shop 2 years later and have it look just as good. So what are some of the principles and techniques that you live by to make sure that when your customer walks out of your studio, that you know it's going to look good in 10 years? ¿Qué haces?
In 10 years.
Like what are some of your techniques that you use to make sure that it's going to look good in 10 years?
Wow.
¿Qué pregunta?
Que en 10 años, si ahora tu técnica es así, ¿cómo será en 10 años?
Maybe I use the same things to preserve the details.
Yeah.
And maybe put more lights and more darks to do the contrast.
Yeah.
But in big compositions.
For example, like Yuncha, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Very
you can do all the details, but if you reserve the lights, it's better for the reading. But if it's only one piece like this, everything like now, too many rays, not too much dark.
Yeah. It'll end up looking flat. So you pay attention. You pay attention to the contrast early on.
Yeah, all the time, because if no, too many people want to put a lot of pictures in a small space, and I told the people, if you have small space, you can do like single needle work, but if you have full sleeve free, it's better respect the light and work in another way, you know.
And to take care about the composition.
Yeah, all the time I'm focused in this.
Yep. Okay, you got a question?
Yeah, we've actually, so we understand what happened earlier this year in January. We've already got people asking when you're going to be back in California. I'm guessing you've got some things to deal with ahead of time beforehand.
When?
Yeah, when can we expect to see you here in the studio or in LA?
It's a very complicated
for the
question.
Moment, I don't know.
For the moment, we don't know.
We want to go.
But the problem is, when you have a problem with USA, you can never go into USA more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we was talking with lawyers about that.
Yeah, because one guy, friend of us, have
the
a
same
similar problem. And paid a lot of money
with lawyers.
And his lawyers say
to him, no way.
Do this, you did this thing in bad way, and now it's complicated. You need to try more times and go for another ways you know.
Now,
I think it's possible, but for a moment, I don't know the ¿cómo se diría? La forma
to find a way
way to do. I don't know what is the way.
It's complicated.
So we know a good lawyer. So let's talk about it a little later.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, for us it's perfect, but we don't know a big lawyer.
So we have a problem too when wait guys, it's complicated for example for us, because another artist don't have this problem, but in our case, this is a real problem. When we travel to USA, the look is a problem. The black and gray tattoo for us is a problem in USA, because all the time cops, they all the time stop us, try to put out to the streets. You know what I mean? It's really hard.
You're not hiding.
I think you're gonna start having to wear like a big purple afro wig, and maybe like
I go to the airport in this time, wear like Jordans and stretch wear
You know,
like Hugo Boss.
Wear some really tight jeans, you know?
Yeah. And the police told me, you can't camouflage, man. You are like a color, you know? I can feel you inside, you know? And
you may have to grow that hair out for a while, brother.
Yeah. Now I try to grow up my hair for this cause. And maybe if I put a red color or...
like me.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
Yeah. It's really sad, guys. It's really sad when we used to go to when we are in USA because all the time.
The problem not is the gang people or
no, the
something
problem is
like
the
this.
police.
It's the police.
Because all the time try to for example, last time in California and in New York, 5 times.
Yeah,
all the time. Hey, come on, guys, come on, let's go to the car. Your ID, where are you doing here? How many days have you been here? Why are you being here?
No,
all the time, all the time.
One police tried to do a wrong thing with me because the police told me, "Are you John?" Yeah, my name is Juan. In English is John. Yeah. You do a bad thing with another...
Yesterday, I saw you in that place and I say, hey, no, wait.
You do problems in this area. No.
You know what I mean?
You confuse me with another guy. I'm Spanish and I'm not,
so,
So
are you suggesting that the police are racist? Because
a lot
of them are. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
A lot of them
yes,
are.
it is.
Very
one police in the airport told me, don't want people like me in the street.
And they want to
take out
from the streets, to the streets, take out.
Little does you know, if there were more people like you on the street, it'd be a beautiful world. Little does you know.
What a pity. It's really sad. Really, really sad. But this reality is not a joke. It's really hard. Police in USA, guys, it's really, really hard. So it's complicated when we travel to USA.
Well, you guys will be back. You guys will be back, and if I have to buy you the big Afro purple wig, I'm going to send it to you. UPS. I want you back.
Yeah, my mustache is like 70s.
We miss you, brother. We miss you. Well, hey, listen, I got another good question. This is actually a question I enjoy talking about. Fabio King says, gray ink or just black watered down? Which one heals better for you, bro? That's his question. So I want to tell a story. So some people are vegetarians and they'll make a hamburger, but instead of it being with meat, it'll be with maybe like tofu, right? And so the question is it really a hamburger, right? It's not really a hamburger. It's almost, right? And so if you're using gray ink, like the color gray to do black and gray, it's not really black and gray to me and to a lot of black and gray artists, because black and gray has always been watered down black ink, and it's a completely different technique to get your transitions. So I'm not saying people that use gray ink to do black and gray pieces is a bad thing. It's just, it's got its own category, just like a meatless hamburger has its own category. It's different. I think that when people talk about black and gray, it should always be reserved to black and watered down black. For black gray. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the same, because the gray with white in the past of the years is yellow. And the contrast is less contrast, it's more expanded. If you see tattoo in colors without lining, it's like a it's not clean.
It's not a clean look.
If you do black and gray, the real black and gray is necessary. Put the black and dilute it, because the black stop the expanded. And if you use another technique, I think it's not good. The past of the years is like yellow. It's fucking bad.
What I would say to you guys that are doing that, man, just try to practice more black and gray, because what happens is real black and gray, it heals better over the years. It gets more softer.
I think so.
A lot of times when you use gray ink, you're really doing color work, and you're just using gray as your color. And you got like your dark gray, your medium gray, your light gray. I love seeing pieces that are done correct with that style. Don't get me wrong, but like it's really not called black and gray. It's more like a colored gray piece, if that.
Yeah, it's color without gray, without colors.
Yep. So that was a good question, Fabio Inking. Thank you for asking that, because I get asked that question a lot. What do I think about it? Let's see here. Any other questions, James? We got it.
Yeah, I had one.
Are you guys still planning on going to the Berlin convention?
Yes. We got Thor asking if we're going to be in Berlin. He was so excited because he was originally going to be coming out to Golden State, which would have been the first time that all of us would have been together.
Yeah.
For that picture. So one of these days we'll get that picture for you, Thor.
Yeah, I don't think Berlin is happening this year, Thor. I don't think the Berlin convention. I saw somebody ask about London. I mean, we're talking, what is it, 3 months away?
It's, at the end of July is
so,
it's supposed to be.
So we got April, May, June, July, was it? So it's about 3.5 months. So cross your fingers, because I'm really hoping to go to London also.
Yeah.
So
I absolutely hope, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a no. It hasn't been canceled. So the good news is, it's as far as we know, it's on right now. But you know what? Let's hope that we can do that, because that'd be a great family reunion to see everybody. I mean, who would have ever thought, man, the whole tattoo world would be shut down overnight, you know, for this amount of time. You know what I mean? But you know what? Let me ask you guys this. Tell me really quick, what are the positive things that you guys have been able to see throughout this, and what have you guys done to reinvent yourself?
Nowadays, with the lockdown, for example, okay, in our case, all the time we are stay creative, you know. For example, in my case, I all the time taking pictures, making tutorials about makeup, about hair, you know. It's not for me, it's for people. It's for entertainment for the people. You know, I think we have to be focused in say to everyone that everything is gonna be okay, everything is gonna be all right. You know, in the case of Juan, for example, all the time is focusing in drawing, you know, we like also about that things to training too. We love training, you know, all the time, every time we want to be with energy, you know, for to do so much things, for to be alive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we, in our case, we are not negative. We are the opposite. We are very, very positive, because I think we are safe at home. We are enjoying for example, watch TV, training, making our art, you know, to try to be, I don't know, a good driver, good driver all the time. So I think that people should be take a little bit patient and think about the future, that the future is coming, is here, is around the corner, you know. So we have to be a little bit patient, you know.
I mean, it's think about it, like we might not ever get this time to have to ourselves. I think that, like, for me, I always say, like, this is everyone has a chance to get better and hone their craft during this downtime. So, like, this really isn't a tragedy, guys. Like, I know it seems like it, because there's not money to be made and this and that, but money comes and money goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had moments in my career where I had no money and I was sleeping on people's couches. So it's not about money right now, guys. No matter what, as long as you're eating something, and if there's anyone out there that can't eat, you better hit us up. We'll make sure you eat. But the bottom line is use this time in quarantine to better yourselves and to become stronger at your craft and what you do, and your mentality. Don't forget, man, like, your career, your artwork, your success is always led by your mentality. So this is a chance for your mentality to get stronger. What's your guys' message of hope to all the Spanish tattoo artists out there, and
all
artists around, the artists from all around the world, because you're coming from Spain, where it's more lockdown than any other country really in the whole world. So what kind of hope, what kind of message of hope can you share with the other people, the other artists out there?
The people need to say thank you for be alive,
Be alive.
For to create and not destroy, for appreciate the
life,
the things you can do, and be focused in conseguir tus objetivos,
to reach your goals. You know, for example, now people is sad, so hope, faith, because everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be all right. So don't be negative. Be positive, because the future is here around the corner.
Because one guy, in one moment, I don't remember exactly the date, in the airport, one guy, I don't know this guy, come with me and told me, you never lost the hope, because Jesus Christ is with you. And you can help too many people, and you don't know this.
Yep.
I say, wow, what do you say me this? Because you can help too many people, and you don't know this.
Yeah, that's true.
I think like, whoa, one guy in the airport, and I don't know this guy. And I try to put now in this moment these words for everybody.
Yeah, that's good words right there, because that's how the Spirit speaks to us, to other people sometimes, and it's all about the hope. James?
Well, hey, man, thank you so much, you guys, for coming.
You too.
Really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. We miss you guys over here. We definitely look forward to getting you guys back out here. You guys were excited. We've got Mayo that's going to be with us on Wednesday.
We'll be checking in with Australia.
We've got Australia on that. So you guys, we look forward to seeing you guys tune in.
Much love to Spain. Much love to our brothers and sisters out there tattooing. Thank you, Juan, for checking in with us. Nora, we love you guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys. Gracias a todos por ver el live.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Miss you guys. I hope see you soon.
We will see you guys soon.
Sure.
If
Absolutely.
not, somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, we hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. And remember, if nobody loves you, Bishop's got you. And we out. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye.